Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching the Technique of the Month from Digital Photo Magazine. On this month's cover CD, you'll find a selection of film strip templates, and what I'm going to do today is to show you how to add your picture onto those templates. Now I've already opened template number 1, and let's have a look at the layers before we go too much further. Let's go to Window and choose Layers, because you'll find each template is made of a few layers. There's the background layer, and above it we've got the film strip layer. Now it's really important that you're working on the film strip layer. So if it isn't already highlighted, click it to make sure that it is. Okay, so we're ready to add in some pictures. So what can you put in here? Well, you could put anything you like. I'm going to put a sequence of pictures running down the film strip. So I've got a series of pictures of a drop of water splashing down. And we're going to put those in one by one. So let's first of all open the first one. We'll go to File, choose Open, and we're going to open splash number 1. So there's our first picture to go in. So how do we get from here into the template? Well, there's a couple of steps. Here's the first one. Let's go to Select and select All. Now that'll put the little marching ants all the way around the edge of your picture. Now we can go to Edit and choose Copy. And what that'll do is it'll copy whatever's inside of your selection into the computer's memory. So in other words, we've copied the whole picture into the computer's memory. So we can close this down safely, and we're back to our template. So to put this image in, let's say we want to put it in the top of the film strip here, we need to change tools to the magic wand tool and click on that grey area, and we get a new selection just up in that top area there. So let's paste our image into that selection by going to Edit, but not using Paste, but the next one down, Paste into Selection. There we go. But it pastes it in enormous. I mean, it's absolutely massive. You can barely see most of the picture. So we've got to shrink this down, and we're going to use Image, Transform, and Free Transform to do the job. Now, if you're using elements like we are here, there's a neat little trick along the top that says Constrain Proportions. Make sure you put a tick in that, because what will happen now is we're going to drag one of these corner handles and shrink our picture down. Now, if we didn't have Constrain Proportions, we'd end up squashing this out of shape. Now, if you're using the full version of Photoshop, I'm afraid you won't find Constrain Proportions, but if you hold the Shift key, it does exactly the same job. Okay, we're just going to slide it across like that. Now, once you're happy, and I do mean really happy because you can't change your mind, click the tick. And there we go, we now have that in place. Right, okay, so we've got the first one in, let's add some more in. Let's go to File, choose Open, and we'll open splash number 2. And we're going to do the same steps as before. So we're going to go for Select, Select All, and then Edit and Copy. And we can close this down, and we're back to the template. Now, we've still got the magic wand, so we can just click the little next grey box down, and that becomes selected. Now again, that is a trick only for Elements users. If you're using the full version of Photoshop, you just need to go back to the layers and click on the film strip layer first of all. Other than that, it's exactly the same. Okay, so we'll go back to Edit, Paste into Selection. Again, it's enormous, so we'll go for File, Transform, and Free Transform. And we'll just shrink this down so it fits into the area that we have for the picture. Like that. Click the tick when you're absolutely happy. Right, let's open a third one. File and Open, and splash number 3. And we'll go back to Select and Select All. But look next to Select All. Can you see it says Control A? Now that's going to tell you the keyboard shortcut that's available to you. And then Edit and Copy, which is Control C. And we can close that down. And we'll just click in there. There we go. And back to Edit, Paste into Selection. And we need to shrink this image, Transform, Free Transform, which also has a keyboard shortcut of Control and T. So we can just shrink this in like so. Now the keyboard shortcuts are well worth learning, especially those 3. So we're going to do the next one using the keyboard shortcut. File and Open and splash number 4. So Control A to select all, then Control C to copy, close that down. Let's select the area with the magic wand, paste into selection, and Control T to free transform. And you can see how much quicker it is using the keyboard shortcuts. Now there are a lot of keyboard shortcuts inside of Photoshop, and a lot of them I can't remember, but if you're going to learn a few, those are well worth learning. So last one, File and Open, and splash number 5, Control A, Control C, close it down, make another selection, edit, paste into selection, which I know has its own keyboard shortcut, but that's one of the ones that I can't remember. That's too many keys to press. Control, where are we? Control T, that's it, and we'll just shrink that in like so. Right, brilliant. So we've now made the film strip. We've got our 5 images, the sequence of images of that little water splashing down. But we've got a large blank area to the side that needs filling. So we're going to do that now as well. But we need to go back to the layers, window and layers, and we need to make sure this time we're working on the background layer. So let's click that and it now becomes selected. And we need an image. Well, what should we put in there? I think I'm going to choose one of these from the side. It's got to be the third one, really, because it's the most exciting, I think, of the 3. It's caught the splash just at the right moment. So let's go to File and open splash number 3. Again, we'll use the keyboard shortcuts of Control A to copy, Control A to select all, rather, Control C to copy, and finally, we'll go for Edit and Paste. So we're going to not use the paste in 2, but just the ordinary paste. So there it is, and Control T for free transform. So far we've been shrinking our images down, but free transform can grow your images as well. So let's just grow this a bit bigger, like so. Lovely. Click the tick, and there we are. So there we go. There's the 5 images into our film strip, and then the 1 image behind, and our picture is now completed.